Hey guys, Mr. Lalamandir again. The other day, one of you guys asked me if I've ever had a mohawk. Well, I do today. Okay, we're going to be working on cartoons today, drawing cartoons, and we're going to be talking about some basic steps that I use to drawing cartoons. Again, if you need to pause at any time to do this, that's fine. I'm going to go kind of quickly, but go ahead and whenever you need to pause it, catch up, take your time, come back to it later, whatever. And also, again, post anything that you create on Seesaw, put it in the art folder, and I'll take a look at it and maybe comment on what you guys have been doing. Also, keep an eye out for videos that I might be posting of Mr. Mankey over the next few weeks too. He wants to make sure he stays in touch with you guys as well. So we're going to be doing some cartooning. Again, it doesn't matter what supplies you're using. All of these lessons are going to be based on using any supplies that you have. Okay. So what I like to do when I'm creating a cartoon, I like to have a set of different face parts that I can use to create a face. Okay. And so in my mind, I keep sort of a list, but you can actually follow along and draw these simple techniques and basically even come up with your own sort of list. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to work with different kinds of eyes. And what I'm going to do here is look at different ways to draw the eyes in the ways cartoonists would use. So here's a set of eyes that we can work with. Okay, two circles, got some dots in it. There's this kind of eye that you'll see cartoonists use sometimes. Different Disney characters might have eyes that look kind of like this. And then you might have other kinds of eyes as well. I like to do this. I do this kind a lot. So I made one entire circle and then I added like kind of part of a circle to that. You see that? Hoping that shows up. And then this kind I like to put in a bunch of dots like that. And then what I'm going to do is have these lists, and then I can look at that later and make faces with just these few eyes. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a list of different kinds of noses. I'm going to see if the black crayon shows up a little bit better. So noses. Cartoonists like to keep it kind of simple. So you'll see things just like this. Kind of looks like a letter U. You might see a whole circle with two half circles next to it. Not a lot of cartoonists put nostrils. It just adds more step that they don't need. Sometimes you'll see sort of a side view. And when I do a side view, I like to sometimes curl it like that. And then you'll see another one is just simply a line. Okay, that would be my list of noses. So then I'm going to work on different mouths. The two parts of the face of a cartoon that show the most expression, that's going to be the mouth and the eyes. Okay, that's where they put most of the work. And that's why you see things like ears and noses very much simplified. Okay, so mouth. Could be simple as a line, but sometimes they can add other lines to it. They might add these little dimple marks and maybe a little line underneath it, kind of like that. Do you see the right there? Then you see that with another addition of the mouth. Now, the mouth can be filled with teeth. I don't always like my teeth to line up. I like to have them kind of off center with each other. Or it might be an opening and you see the tongue, and that's then colored in. See that one? Okay. Sometimes I just do a simple line. Another one I like to do is kind of like if you take a comma or different kinds of lines like that, or kind of a shape like a number 6. And that's going to be like a mouth that's open. Maybe someone's surprised. You see that little bit of a line right here? See that? So those are a variety of mouths that you can work with. And you have a list of mouths. Then, let's look at ears. Now, as far as hair and stuff like that, I'm going to let you go on that. A lot of you were really creative with that. You could just do like zigzag lines or whatever for hair. But ears. Ears are a little bit different. I spent a lot of time when I was learning how to draw crayon cartoons and stuff, copying other cartoonists, looking at stuff from Disney, looking at a lot of stuff in the newspaper, and I would copy those over and over again. And one thing I got interested in is how do they draw their ears? They want to keep it simple, but they want it interesting. So let's say this is a head, okay? One ear style is just like the letter C or a half circle, and then they'll put the letter S in it. See that? Is that showing up at all? Because you want to have that sort of opening kind of thing in the ear. Another type of ear is shaped kind of like this. Looks like one of the wings of a butterfly, doesn't it? And then I just put a squiggly kind of line in there. Okay? Ears can be just as simple as 2 half circles. But I always, for some reason, I like to put some kind of line or something in there to look like the opening of the ear. Okay, so ears, don't spend a lot of time being concerned about that. Really concentrate on the eyes and the mouth. And let me put one together, because now we've got that list. Now let's talk about putting the faces together. I'm going to do one face with you, and then I'm going to let you go. So I'm going to choose one set of the eyes that I'm working with. So I'll put in this style of eye. See that? Put my black dots in. This time I'm going to give him a nose like this, sort of a sideways nose. All right? And what kind of mouth? I'm going to give him a mouth kind of like this. That number 6 or that upside down comma kind of look. Now, all I need to do is just bring a line around that. Kind of like the letter U, right? See that? Gonna stick some ears on. Since he's kind of looking to that direction, I'm just gonna do one full-size ear on this side, put that little S inside of it, and maybe half of an ear over here, okay? Because he's kind of turned that way, isn't he? Now the cool thing is then bringing in things like eyelashes for like girls, eyebrows help a lot, and then what are you doing with the eyelids? For example, if I stick eyelids in here, now he doesn't look so surprised. Now he looks a little more tired, doesn't he? And then if you stick eyebrows in. Now when I do the hair, it'll help add with the forehead, but I don't spend a lot of time on that. I'm going to do just sort of a zigzaggy line. Keep it real simple. And then you can do things like add bodies and stuff like that, and however you would want to do that with simple rectangles, or if you feel comfortable trying to really get into it, or if you've seen my video about Henry Hawk, you can use some of those ideas too. But one thing I like to talk about is when I do the neck. In cartoons, it's okay, and actually a good thing to make that neck kind of skinny, so that head looks even bigger, and making the body much smaller than it would be in real life. But when I do the neck, here's what I do. Look at this. I just put in this curvy line right there, underneath there. Now he's got a bit of a shadow there. Do you see that? And all that was a curved line, and I colored behind it. So then I can just come up here and add a lot of this stuff you've already seen me do before in the Henry Hawk pictures. And then arms. Someone asked me the other day, when you do cartoons, why do so many cartoons, they only draw 3 fingers and 1 thumb? And that's because you're able to draw the fingers bigger, and those fingers, if you're only drawing 3, then you're not having to draw as much of it, okay? So that's an old trick. You see it used a lot in the older Walt Disney cartoons. See that hand? Really kind of a simple, it's just sort of a rectangle, and then the hand I put in a thumb, and then it kind of looks like I'm doing a bumpy line or the letter W to add those fingers. So you see how he looks kind of tired? But if I would have not had that, he looked surprised, right? So you can play around with eyelids, play around with eyebrows. Talk to you later and see you guys next time.